Today it's story time. Story time with Andy. One of my favorite things to do is free writing. I love it. To just sit down and you just start writing, and whatever kind of story just comes to your mind. And I tend to end up with these short stories that are like a page or two long, and I don't know, it's just fun. It's just one of my favorite things to do. This is one of my notebooks where I have written some random little stories. These stories are usually not really like planned out ahead of time, but I just sit down and I kind of write whatever comes to my mind. And sometimes they're better than others, and some of them are not like great, but some of them I think turn out pretty fun. So honestly, if you've never tried writing like that, I would highly recommend it. So this is day 2 of me making a daily YouTube video here on my second channel, and I thought it would be fun. Actually, my wife suggested I might try this, just reading one of the stories that I had written. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to read you one of these stories that I wrote. They're short. Jeff shifted in his lawn chair. He had been watching the sky every night since the encounter. Never in a million years would Jeff have believed there was actually intelligent life out there. But 1 week ago, Jeff's mind was changed. An alien, an honest-to-goodness alien, just standing there in front of him. He was taking out the garbage, and there it was, standing next to the can. Oddly, the alien had just placed the lid back on the can as if it had just thrown something away. It just stood there, almost as if it felt awkward, like you think you're alone and suddenly you realize someone is right there staring at you. Jeff just stood there with a frozen garbage bag in one hand. The alien was short, maybe 4 feet tall, skinny, very skinny, big head, huge eyes, an alien. Not a human in a costume. They stared at each other for a good long moment until the alien kind of shuffled back, then turned and ran toward a flying saucer, a real-life UFO parked in the street. A moment later, the saucer powered up, and whoosh, it was gone. Jeff glanced at the garbage can. He approached and cautiously lifted the lid. It was empty except for a lone candy bar wrapper. A candy bar wrapper. Twix! Jeff pulled it out, stared at it, then stared at the sky for a good long time. The end. So that's kind of an example of random little short free writing that I think is really fun. If you guys would like to hear more of my random little stories, let me know, because I'd be happy to read more. There might be one more here. Sometimes they're really short, just kind of an idea that I start writing, and it doesn't necessarily go anywhere, but it's fun to just kind of create a scene and a situation. This is so here's kind of a short example of that. Robert walked down the sidewalk as usual, but stopped suddenly. He stared at the concrete just in front of his feet. A crack had formed clean across the entire width of the sidewalk. He would have thought nothing of it, but this section of sidewalk was only a few weeks old, right in front of his house. I knew it. I knew that guy used garbage cement. He had gotten so tired of asking the city to fix his old decaying sidewalk that he had paid for the new sidewalk all himself. But just as he was about to storm into the house, the crack got bigger. It rumbled and widened to half an inch and spread into the road several feet. And that's all I wrote of that one. So a lot of things I write, they kind of start and don't necessarily end, but they're so fun to write. This one I really like. The cat stopped mid-chew and spit out its cat food. I've had enough of this so-called food, it thought. Today I shall catch and feast on a mouse, or maybe a bird. In fact, I will eat and drink nothing but what I can catch and provide for myself. I am done with this easy can-opener life. As Sprinkles proudly marched out the cat door, into the wide open world. The prized metal tag on her collar tinkled like a dainty little bell, and she began to hate it. And that's all I wrote of that one. That one, I would kind of love to see where that one goes. But yeah, it's really fun. If you guys have never tried it, I highly recommend it. Let me know if you'd like to hear any more, because I've got plenty more stories that I could tell. We can have a little story time with Andy or something. Okay, well, this has been day 2 of me putting some sort of random video on my second channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.